Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we are going over a lot of Cyberverse toy news. We have some Earthrise concept art from Ken Christiansen to examine, and our friends Han Cholo show off some exclusive Transformers pins and earrings for C2E2. Today is Wednesday, February 19th, 2020, and this is episode 369 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that's surprised Hasbro didn't leak all its Transformers Toy Fair news early. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how you doing?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. Let's talk Transformers.
All right. Unfortunately, no special guest this week. I know we had a couple of good ones in the last couple of weeks, but
we were on a run. That is what you call a run.
Sadly, it is at an end, though. So you're just stuck with the three of us, and we tried to get Yoshi to come back, but the stars did not align this week. But we're hopeful he'll be back soon. It's 2020. We haven't had him on in 2020 yet.
Nope. He'll guest star at some point.
But anyway, let's start off as we always do by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you for continuing to support the show and helping us make this possible. You can, if you are not already a Donatreon, you can sign up by going to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And that's where you can find links to contribute to the show on Patreon or PayPal. And that really helps us out. Also, if you want to help us, you can buy merchandise from our TeePublic store, and that is at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. You can also go to a friend of the show, K-Girls, TeePublic store at teepublic.com/user/superstark. And she has some awesome Transformers themed designs as well, ones that she's done for our show, for shirts on our show, and just artwork in general for our show. So you should support her and us. By the way, this week we have another TeePublic site-wide sale. So starting today, February 19th, all the way through the weekend, ending February 23rd, all T-shirts at TeePublic are $13, and then everything else is 35% off. So take advantage of that sale. You can buy some cool transmission stuff, or any merchandise through our link will help us out. And you can help yourself out to that nice 35% off discount. And we've also got the next episode of Empire of Rust, episode 17, 5D8 Collision Detection. And this was out this Monday, February 17th. So it should already be in your feed. If you are not already listening to Empire of Rust, you can check out that awesome Transformers live play RPG podcast done by our editor and producer Mike Ordway and his group of awesome Transformers players. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. Things are heating up there, and there's a big battle this week, so you should definitely check it out. It's very exciting. All right, so now that we've got all the housekeeping news out of the way, let's move on to toy news.
All right. This week in toy news, I grabbed a couple things. First up, we've got Banana Force. Remember them? They produced the RID 2001 Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime that are highly articulated but non-transforming. Well, we've got some pictures here of the Ultra Magnus that they are calling Great Armor, and it is in color prototypes, or color renders they're calling it here, and it looks pretty damn good. It is a fully articulated figure on its own, but it also does disassemble to armor up the Optimus Prime that they did before, and form the Ultra Prime or whatever the hell they called it in RID. So
Omega Prime.
Omega Prime, there you go. So there's so many names for the Super Optimus figures. You can never really remember them. I can't anyway. But anyway, this thing looks pretty good. So essentially, you're getting 2 of the 3 modes out of this. You're not getting the car carrier mode, alt mode, but it does form a really cool looking robot, and then obviously all the little bits and trinkets that form onto the Optimus. So by taking a look at all these angles of it here in robot mode, you get a good sense of its the stature that it does hold. Jeremy, you're a pretty big fan of RID. What do you think of this guy?
I'm actually not too high on this. I don't know.
Really?
It might be my lingering issues with the RID Ultra Magnus being a horrible figure. But I don't know. I mean, I liked their Optimus Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just also the fact that none of these transform. I mean, they're doing the fully licensed thing, so it's just a figure. I don't know. It just doesn't really do much for me.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is something. They're new to the market, so this is their first and second figure that they're doing. But
I mean, the look of the robot itself looks fine. It's just not really interesting to me because I hate that Ultra Magnus.
No, all right. So a little biased in that opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Charles. Do you have any bias towards this figure from previous incarnations?
Not particularly, but I will say the figure looks good to me. Although the wings and the gun, the like super elongated wings and guns, just kind of look a little ridiculous. I don't know I don't remember from the original figure if that's how it was in the original RID figure, but it just looks like how does he get through doorways with those giant wings and guns?
It does seem like that's like a bit of Jetfire added on, just painted blue.
Right. Well, I mean, I think they're going like really hard to the Japanese side of things with this, right? So the Ultra Magnus did have the guns on the shoulders, and it did have these wings. They've turned them up to 11 on this guy, and it's I mean, hey, if they don't have to worry about it turning it into its alt mode, then why not go nuts on the robot mode? So personally, I don't mind. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I would like to see the combined form. I don't know if we've had pictures of that before. I can't remember if we've seen that already. But I would like to see like how this guy detaches and combines with the RID Prime.
I think we did see a prototype of it at the that Shanghai convention, but it is hard to pull that up right now out of memory. But yeah, it's big. I can remember that this is going to be a very large combined figure. But yeah, it's if you're really into this is obviously one of those figures like the Kurokawa Kuri Flame Toy stuff where it's going to be expensive and there's no alt mode, right? So it's highly articulated, no alt mode, and expensive. So you really got to be into it. But other than that, we're still keeping our eye on it. This is their first figure or first set of figures from Banana Force, so we still have no knowledge of how the quality is turning out. So yeah, we'll definitely keep our eye on it. I have a second topic that I'm been excited to keep my eye on here, and this is from New Age, and this is their Legendary Heroes number 19N Pizzeria. This is the set of Ninja Turtles made off of the Brawn mold that they just started putting out. And this is a new kind of set of pictures where they are actually showing it in their packaging. So it will be released in 2 packages of 2, and it appears to be the Donatello and Raphael in one, and Michelangelo and Leonardo in the other. You can obviously buy them, all together, but you cannot get one at a time. So there you go. It does show all the weapons that you're going to be able to get. A little kind of plug-on, I guess it's a gas can for the back of the alt mode. And then they do show them in some poses as well as in in car mode with their weapons pegged onto the backs of them. So they can actually carry them. It looks ridiculous, but everything will peg onto these figures in alt mode, and that's pretty cool. So, yeah. Guys, taking a look at this, I kind of want it. It's 4 of the same mold. We don't have any price listing on them yet. One of the comments on this page speculated that the previous 2-pack was Brawn and Outback, and that was priced at $60. So they're hoping that it's probably around that for these two, but then you got to double it. So you're looking at $120 for a couple Ninja Turtles here, and you're only getting the one mold. But it's so cool. Does the the Ninja Turtle factor of a transforming figure kind of allow you to see past $120 worth of figures?
I think so. I think these just look so fun.
Wow. This coming from Jeremy.
I didn't say I was actually going to
Let's mark this. Let's mark this. Can we put a show note in here? Jeremy's okay with spending $120 on Legends class figures.
I mean, you get 4 of them. And
that's true.
I don't know. They look fun. And honestly, I would hope that since it's essentially mold reuse, it could come down to $50 and $100 for both.
Yeah, maybe.
I would definitely be more on board with it with that. I think this is just, they look fantastic. I love it. They have all the weapons and they look really ridiculous with the weapons on the cars, but I think that's cool. And then I love in the background, they have like Brawn with the nunchucks, just kind of, with all the rest of them in vehicle mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, these are something that we've all been interested in since we first saw them. And if I were to see these at TFCon in July, they would be on my list for stuff to try to pick up.
Nice. Right on. Well, Charles, I don't know if you were into Ninja Turtles, but these are pretty fun. They're turtles that got infected by some radioactive ooze and turned.
You don't have to explain it to me, Daryl. I did grow up in the 80s.
Well, they turned into bronze and were trained by a rat trap. So, what do you think here, buddy?
These are very cute. I mean, I like in particular the attention to detail. Like each in the truck mode, each one is color coded to their particular headbands, so you can tell them all apart in both modes. They've got a pizza on the hood of each van. The weapon storage in vehicle mode is a bit weird, but that's fine. These are cute. I mean, I don't know if I'm willing to spend upwards of $100 or $120 for all 4. I mean, I did watch the Ninja Turtles cartoon in the 80s. I enjoyed it. My local movie theater, I won a contest and got some free movie tickets the contest was at the premiere of the TMNT live action movie. So that gives me, I got a poster and I had it on my on the door in my room for a little while. Fond memories of the Turtles, but I don't know if it's $100 fond. But these are cute. I mean, I would like to mess with them. I'd like to see them in person and play around with them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not. I'm not in general a big toy collector. So this is unique and curiosity enough to be something interesting. But yeah, it'd probably be like an impulse buy if I was at TFCon and saw them on the shelf, and maybe if I had Daryl with me as my negotiator and could get a good deal. Well,
hey, if you join Jeremy and I in Toronto, then I can go up and say, look, what will you do on 6 of these things?
Right.
We're going to buy 3 sets,
Yeah.
So
maybe we can do
get
that.
the negotiating power of the bulk.
That's right. Jeremy has no issue with me being an asshole, so
no,
I can be So yeah, we're going to keep watching these things because they are still not up for pre-order. I will probably post as soon as I find out that they're up for pre-order. right after I pre-order them. And then we'll see where it goes from there. I like Jeremy's idea that it comes down to about $100 for all 4, but then again, yeah, they're not in a set of 4. They're in a set of 2 per, right? So, but yeah, I'd like to see it maybe be something that you see at a convention, but I'd hate to be like one set, like you can only find the Donatello and Michelangelo set or something like that, whatever the you can only find that one, and like, where the hell's the other 2?
Well, Daryl, DJ Ronan has a surprise for you in the chat. Did
he buy them for me?
He's got a link to TF Direct where you can pre-order them there. But the bad news is it's $136
or 186 Canadian.
Jesus.
Oh, it goes down to $129 US if you don't have the collector's packaging.
That's a little spicy. So let's see what everyone else starts to come up with. These are just pre-orders, right? Because nobody seems to. The other limit, like the regular sites, don't have it yet. So
it might be better to just get a in-person deal at TFCon.
That's right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it comes up with. That's what I found for this week. What do you got, Jeremy?
I have some Earthrise concept art by Ken Christiansen. He's posted on his Facebook account Earthrise Hot Rod Patrol Daddy-O and Trip Up concept art. And these are pretty cool. They're I'm not sure of the exact models of the car. I think Daddy-O is like a 57 Chevy, and Trip Up, not sure exactly what kind of car he is. Maybe like I don't want to anger the car people. I just don't know.
I am not good with old cars. So what is this? Yeah, it looks like a Camaro of some kind.
Sure.
I am not good with the old cars. So,
but I mean, then we see the actual cars down at the bottom here. I wish that his drawings are just black and white or grayscale, and I thought that
it's a Mustang Mach 1. Sorry,
I was actually going to say Mustang, but I'm like, no. But it was in that period of Mustangs that they didn't actually look like Mustangs.
Yeah. So that's it. Sorry, everybody. I got it.
Yeah, you got it before they could email.
That's right.
Mike has already edited out your mistake, Daryl. It's okay.
No, he didn't. But Daddy-O is mainly black in the actual figure, and Trip Up is more pink. And Trip Up in particular, I think, looked really good with the gray look of this concept art. Kind of reminded me a little bit of DeLorean. Like, I think that would have looked really cool. But it's neat seeing these from his concept art to what actually happened, especially since these are the small, legend scale guys. Well, what do you think of these? How well do you think it turned from image to actual figure?
I mean, the concept art looks really cool, and I think given that it's a really small MicroMaster size figure, I think it's pretty well done. The translation from the concept to the actual physical toy. I mean, that's those two. I mean, I'm not a big classic car guy, so this is not something that appeals to me. But I think if you're a Transformers fan and a fan of classic cars, I guess this would appeal to you.
Yeah.
I think it translates really well. Spoilers for Trips to the Store. I have the originals, so I'm going to show those off as well. And the originals to these translate quite well. The colors, they matched them perfectly.
Okay, so that explains the pink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where are you seeing the pink? I'm seeing yellow and blue on the white one, and gray and orange on the black one. So.
Well, I'm seeing the main body of the main body looks pink to me.
It is white.
Okay, so that's just a bad photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the light shining through, I think.
Okay.
You don't get to see the undercarriage of either one of them, but the white one, Robot Mode's body is green on the original anyway, and then the black one's Robot Mode's body is orange. So, yeah. But other than that, I mean, they've kept them pretty similar. The original G1 versions have mag wheels on the back of the 57 Chevy, and then the Camaro also seems to have pretty big mag wheels on the back as well. Actually, they all do. I'm looking at all
They're
four
hot
right
rods.
now. They are. Yeah. So there you go.
All right. Well, I also have something we're going to talk about in alt mode is they've shown a trailer for season 3 of Cyberverse. So we'll talk about that in alt mode. But the same article that talks about this also is showing off some new figures and new characters. So I thought we would talk about some of these here. I know we don't really go into Cyberverse a lot here on the toy side, but I thought with being new characters and stuff, I thought it would be neat. I think we have seen some Cyberverse concepts be translated into some of the later generation stuff. So might be a hint of things to come. The first one we have here is Hammerbite, which is a shark, like a robotic shark. And then we have Thunderhowl, which is, I'm guessing, a lion or, kind of a Voltron-esque lion, but his robot mode is more of a samurai look. And then this one was neat. We have Iaconus. And we don't actually see anything but the robot modes of some of these. Iaconus looks like a big warrior, has a big sword. Wild Wheel, which has a kind of a, not really a cape, but kind of like what Megatron in some of the live action movies had kind of just around him. And then we have Meteor Fire.
I think Wild Wheel, he looks like he's wearing a poncho, like he's like Clint Eastwood in the in
Unforgiven,
or the older one. What's the old movie? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh yeah, That's right. That's the one. Unforgiven was a trench coat, I think.
Yeah, and then the last one we have is Meteor Fire here. What do you guys think of these new characters? And we don't really know anything about them other than these pictures, but what do you think?
The one thing I thought, like, we might get a split of Autobot and Decepticon, but these look to be all Autobots.
Yeah,
that's a little surprising. But I'm curious. I mean, in particular, Wild Wheel. Like, are we going to a version of the Old West for Transformers at some point in season 3? So well, I'm curious where
the whole point is kind of, I guess, saving Cybertron. So who knows where they're going to go with it.
And Iaconus, like we haven't had, like, Iacon is a big, well-known city on Cybertron. So is he the leader of the city, or is he the city itself turned into a giant robot, or
is he like
something else?
Prime?
He looks like, if you look on his shoulders, he looks like he might have buildings on his shoulders or something that looks like that. So he could be the actual city of Iacon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like these depictions. I'm trying to think of how they're going to integrate them into the show. And obviously we left off the show. Megatron and the Decepticons had used the space bridge to get back to Cybertron and beat Optimus Prime by a good margin. And where the show ended, Prime had just gotten back to Cybertron, and we're ready for season 3. My idea here is that all these characters that we're seeing here are characters that have been on Cybertron while Megatron and the Decepticons and Optimus and the Autobots have been gone. And now they've been having to deal with Megatron since he got back early. And since Optimus arrives back, then they all they rally with him. Iaconus, I think, is, like I said, the city, and will be a Titan that will wield some damage. That'll be kind of cool. Everyone else, I think, will just be kind of like, hey, we were here, this is what happened, and we're here, we're ready to help, kind of thing. There might be some that have been, like, they'll be in flashbacks or something like that, but I can't imagine why they're going to make toys of them if they're only flashback characters, but they've done Stranger Things. But I think it'd be cool.
Look at Beast Wars. We had toys of characters that were not even in the show.
True. I also want to make mention here that we do get officially seeing the changing of the title for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll talk probably more about that in alt mode. But we were trying to figure out whether they were going to go with it, because we'd seen some packaging where it had happened. But it is officially now Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. And I believe this is the third title change of this show in 3 years. So it was first just Cyberverse. And then it was Cyberverse, was it Battle of the Spark or something to the Spark?
Power of the Spark?
Power of the Spark, right? And now it's just Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. So is Bumblebee becoming? Is he going to become the focus again, like he was in season 1?
I think
because
we'll get into that with the trailer, but I think that might be what they're going to go for.
Oh, that's a shame because season 2 was really good.
Yeah, season 2 was great.
Yeah, this feels like a step backward.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have a few. They look like one-step changer type, or maybe three-step changers. But these are the normal characters that we get everywhere: Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Starscream. I will say Starscream's mode looks really neat. It kind of reminds me of a Mandalorian ship from Clone Wars. If you're familiar with that, that's what my first thought. Some people, I think, said it looked like other types of ships, but this is what it screamed to me. But it does have a good Cybertronian-esque looking mode, not an Earth mode.
Yeah, I do like that Starscream. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, all the other ones seem to be kind of standard, but Cybertronian looking versions of their modes. That is everything I have this week. Charles, what do you have?
All right. Well, continuing the Cyberverse line, so we got official, pictures of the next a new Cyberverse figure. This is an Ultra Class figure, and this is Rack and Ruin, which
Nice.
I was pretty surprised to see this guy get his own figure. I think, I mean, now that I do remember vaguely, we might have mentioned on the show that there was a listing that mentioned Rack and Ruin, but we had seen like no previews, no pictures, no teases about it, and then it just shows up on stores in the UK. So this was at the Forbidden Planet in Glasgow, which I think Forbidden Planet is a pretty well-known like comic and specialty store for getting stuff in. It's pretty well known over there in the UK. So yeah, I was really surprised to see this figure show up, and it looks pretty good. I mean, Cyberverse, the Cyberverse toys have been a little, I mean, they are geared for the younger kids, so that's the point. But their engineering has been a little bit basic compared to the Generations figures. But the bigger ones, I guess, do get a little bit more attention, and they made an Ultra Class Rack and Ruin figure. He does turn into like a kind of truck tank thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised to see this guy get a figure. So, for those who are not familiar with Rack and Ruin, he is an original creation from the Marvel UK comics. He was originally a Wrecker created by Simon Furman back in Target 2006. That seminal story that introduced the Wreckers in Transformers UK. He was always this kind of figure that was two Autobots joined together. In the original comic, it was just two bodies welded at the shoulder. But now he's been reimagined in Cyberverse as just kind of a single body with two heads. But the concept is, it's pretty similar. So just to see the journey of Rack and Ruin from 30 years being just an only comic book character. He never showed up in any other media other than the comics, the Marvel UK comics in particular. Then he was, of course, when we had Nick Roche and James Roberts, who were fans of the original Marvel comics, they brought him in to the IDW universe, although you only saw him in flashbacks and cameos. And then he just showed up in the Cyberverse cartoon. I think, again, because Boulder Media is out of Ireland, and those guys probably grew up with the Marvel UK comics as well. Mm-hmm. And they put Rack and Ruin in their show.
Always trying to stack those boxes.
So, yeah, I mean, he gets to shine in the show as a background character in the cartoon, and now he gets his own figure. So, I should say they, since it's two guys. I gotta say, the one thing I'm a little bit disappointed in is that the faces of the two figures, they look, I mean, other than the little eye patch for one of them, the faces look very much like it's just the same face. I was hoping they'd put a little bit slightly different expression on one of the faces, but I guess it's a mass produced toy, so got to save money on engineering costs and somewhere. But this might be the first Cyberverse toy I pick up if I see this in the store. I mean, I saw the Quintesson earlier in Target, but I passed on that because we are getting a Quintesson in Earthrise eventually. So, but Rack and Ruin, that's just the fact that this is a comic character that made it to the toys. That's always something that I find special, and I like seeing the Transformers comics characters cross over. So I just think it's cool. Daryl, any thoughts on Rack and Ruin?
I think it's very cool that it exists, being as it's mainly a UK character that's only just started coming over to North America. I have very little connection to Rack and Ruin. I think it's very awesome that it's existing. If there were a Generations figure or a mainline figure, then I would probably be more excited about picking it up. As it stands, where it's a Cyberverse figure, perfectly understandable as it's in the show. I probably won't be picking it up though.
Yeah, it's difficult because the Cyberverse toys, we've talked on the show a lot about how the Cyberverse toys are definitely not for us. And
that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hard.
We're grown adults. Not everything needs to be for us.
No, that's
some toys
true.
can be for kids.
Yeah.
Jeremy, would Alex like to get a Rack and Ruin toy that he'd let his daddy play with? I
think he probably would, considering for Valentine's Day he got me some bots that he wanted to play with. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is something that he would really like. And being, the easier to transform and the bigger figure, I think this is just great for the target audience for Cyberverse. And they will have no connection to the character other than the show. But, hey, it's a robot that transforms into a tank, and the robot has two heads. I mean, that's almost as good as it being a dinosaur with two heads.
All right. Well, yeah. So this is probably maybe a few weeks or a month away from showing up in the U.S. stores. I think since this is a specialty shop, they probably got their orders a little bit earlier than when they go out to mass market. So I'll keep you posted if I do see this in the store, and whether I pull the trigger on that, we'll see. I do have one other thing, and this does take us back to Earthrise, because we now have listings on Amazon UK for the Quintesson Alicon and RC. So we talked about this. We already had rumors of these coming out. We had seen Walmart listings, but now these are pre-order listings at Amazon UK, and there is some description. The Quintesson Alicon figure says the Alicon character turns into animal mode in 14 steps and comes with a lance as an accessory. So that sounds very much like an Alicon.
Certainly does.
And then the RC toy converts into the classic G1 sports car mode in 15 steps and comes with a blaster.
Oh, you're
part
missing
of the character.
You're missing a part where it says it looks just like the Moonracer, Nova Star, and Chromia toys that appeared in previous incarnations of the toy line. Oh, you didn't see that part? It says it right there.
I really hope that's not true. Okay, but it also says part of the character backpack can be removed for a more stylish look and used as a hoverboard. So we have not seen the Chromia Moonracer mold do that. So I'm really crossing my fingers that this is a new mold. So I really hope so.
Does this also mean that there's going to be a Daniel figure at some point that can ride the hoverboard?
Oh.
Well, maybe RC is riding the hoverboard. Maybe that's
RC didn't ride the hoverboard in the movie.
Hey, it's 2020 now. It's not 2005
she can ride
anymore.
Hoverboards.
It's not 2005. She's learned how to ride a hoverboard, Jeremy. Don't be so limiting.
The other thing is that much like the Build-A-Figure in Cyberverse, each of these Earthrise figures now have this Transformers universe map and a red decoder to unlock hidden map paths. And you can if you collect all the Earthrise characters, you can combine the pieces of the entire map together. So that's a little bit less cool than a Build-A-Figure, but yeah. I guess it's a nice gimmick.
But I am happy about the red decoder.
Yeah.
With all the reissue figures where they do include the tech specs, they don't include a decoder. Mm-hmm. So nice that they finally found a source for thin red strips of plastic that they can sell again.
So I'm guessing that we will actually see these figures in person at Toy Fair this weekend. I'm crossing my fingers that we'll get those. Because I'm really curious about the Alicon in particular. I mean, I did buy a third-party Alicon at TFCon last year, so now
we still haven't
I'm
seen.
Curious what this. I'm curious what this official one is going to look like. So,
no return policy at TFCon.
I know.
You gotta show this thing off before the official one comes out. You don't know where it is, do you?
I have a week to find it.
I knew it.
All right. Any other thoughts, Daryl or Jeremy?
No. I mean,
I'm happy with a new RC and an Alicon. Like I said before when we were talking about this, it's been a long time coming for an Alicon, and I really hope that they do all the other stuff from the Quintesson contingent. And an RC, we got one in Generations a couple years back, which I still think is a really good figure. And if they want to do another one, I don't care. It's fine. Let's do another one. Let's see what it is. They do an Optimus Prime every single wave, so
yeah.
Let's see what an RC they can do now.
Just for the love of God, give us a different mold for a female Autobot. Just one different mold.
I would hope that we're going to get a different RC.
Yeah. The other thing I'm curious, so we're getting a lot of Transformers the movie references in the Earthrise line. I would have thought that would be like they'd save if Unicron is going to be the third part of this trilogy, I thought they'd save these figures for that one. Like Quintessons should show up with Unicron to evoke the Transformers the movie vibe, right?
2005, Charles.
Touche. All right. Well, though that's my toy topic, so that'll do it for the toy section, and we will move on to trips to the store. And this is where we show off all the cool Transformers merchandise we got this week. We do this as a video that we show on YouTube, so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition. But we will also have the audio right here in the show, so you can listen to us describe all our toys in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, let's get into the toys we got this week. Or I guess Daryl's got some toys.
Transformers-related items.
You know I'm here for you.
Jeremy, start us off.
All right. I have a comic. That is all I have. I got the Transformers Valentine's Day issue. Was upset that I did not have Transformers number 17, which did not come out, even though we got review copies. So, I haven't even read it, actually. But Valentine's Day issue, we reviewed it last week on Alt Mode. It's a fun issue. So, that's all I got.
I will join you, Jeremy, showing off what I got. I also got the Transformers Valentine's Day special, the Jack Lawrence cover, just like Jeremy's. And yeah, we reviewed this last week. I think we enjoyed it for the most part, so check it out. It's a very interesting book. Not exactly what I was expecting for a Transformers Valentine's Day special, although I don't really have much expectations for a Transformers Valentine's Day themed book. It's a little bit, not the normal thing you think about in Transformers. You think more about war than love for Transformers, so that was cool. I also wanted to show off issue 2 of the Kill Lock. My store finally got that copy for me. I know it's been out for a little while now, but Livio Remendelli's creator-owned book, The Kill Lock. It's a very cool original story. It does feature robots, living autonomous beings as the main characters. They're not Transformers, but it is a cool, interesting robot society, galaxy-spanning robot society. So it's a very interesting story. Check it out. I'm looking forward to the rest of the issues. Livio's doing a great job. All right, Daryl, it's your turn. What do you got?
Wow, that got to me quick. I also have the Valentine's Day special, the Jack Lawrence cover. Actually, it was in my bag. I forgot to even look for the Sarah cover, so if I do see it, maybe I'll grab it. But nice cover. Jack's was really good. I wanted to show this off. This was I got my first Earthrise figure. I came across it in a Toys R Us. It's a store we have here in Canada that sells toys, just toys. It's too bad you don't have it in the States, but it might do well there. This is Sound Barrier, and he's the guy who just turns into a ramp. Very small, Micromaster. Yeah, so he comes with a little effect part, just a little explosion. Doesn't fit on him unless in robot mode, but does in his ramp mode. So or whatever.
Or shield.
Shield, yes. Could be a shield. But yeah, you just literally, that's the transformation of him. Then you can plug the explosion or whatever onto him like that. Yeah. If you want to turn him into a shield, you're just dropping down this peg on the front of him here. And you can plug him in. But then you got this little dude like looking at you while you're trying to it's like, what are you doing to me?
Did you get Omega Supreme?
I did. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's compatible. Well,
I assume so. He looks the same. I haven't tried plugging him on like as a part of a ramp or anything like that, but I will. And as I mentioned in the tweet that I had for him, that this guy could definitely be a troop builder. I mean, you got 3-4 of these things, plug them in together, and you got yourself a little road. So, yeah, it could definitely be a troop builder. Because tomorrow here in Canada is called Family Day, it's a stat holiday, there is nothing for us to do. So I'm going to spend some time with my family, and I bought some of these things, and figured I'd show them off. And my daughter and I are going to paint them.
Nice.
So
Ooh.
I cannot, for the life of me, find Optimus Prime anywhere. That seems to be pretty hard to find. But I got Starscream, Megatron, and Bumblebee of the Whiz Kids paintable miniatures. And so my daughter and I are going to kick around these things tomorrow. Since I am not really big into these things, I bought some paints. And I got just these, the Army Painter Hobby Set. So it came with 12 paints, a couple brushes, some super glue, and some nippers. And so, yeah.
That's actually meant to paint miniatures.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you're going to do something, do it right. Yeah, so I got that. And one last thing I wanted to show is something that I did tweet out some pictures of because I was really excited about getting it. Is I did find this, and this was, I thought it was a knockoff at first when I saw it at the comic book store. This is not a knockoff. This is, in fact, a Brave toy. This is King X-Geyser from Brave. And I do not know anything about Brave, and that is very much apparent. So this is a figure that comes with a little dude inside. So there he is inside. He's very much like a Star Saber type of character or figure, where the little dude is inside there, and he can bring him out, and then he turns into his own little thing, and then this turns into a trailer. This is a car, and then he can tow around his trailer or his body, and then, yeah. I don't know a lot about the character of X-Geyser. It seems to be pretty cool. He's pretty neat. I'm going to see if I can learn some more about him. Brave was that not Transformers Transformer line from Takara that came out once Transformers had officially ended. So it's kind of neat. And, yeah, I don't know. I might see about getting some more of these guys from what I understand, they're not overly expensive, but yeah, this one was in pretty good condition. So yeah, cool. A Brave toy.
You know, there's someone you should talk to who knows a lot about Brave.
Yeah, who's that?
Headmaster Don.
Oh, okay. And I just forgot. I teased it in the. Maybe I will. I'll ask him about it. But I teased it in the first part of the show. As I did get the Hot Rod Patrol, and this is I got to get their names up because I don't remember any of their names. So we got Big Daddy here, and this is the one of the two that they've recreated in the new modern version. And I mean,
Daddy-O.
Or is that what they call him?
That's what the new one is called.
Oh, the new name is Daddy-O.
Well, this is Big Daddy. I'm sorry. Then the other one that they
That's okay, Daddy-O.
And then this one is Trip Up. Is this the same name?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's Up Trip.
And then the two that they have neglected in this set is here's the first one. It is Greaser. I don't know how that name's gonna get changed. So that's Greaser. He's an orange hot rod, and then this green one is just simply called Hub or Hubs. Anyway, like I said before, when it comes to these MicroMaster figures, is that there's not a lot that they change because they're so small. There's only so much articulation they can do to them. So the G1s are essentially the same. I'd like to get the original or the new ones just to see exactly what they changed, if anything. But I have a feeling that there really isn't that much of a difference.
Cool.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, that will do it for this episode of Trips to the Store.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and we will finish up the show with convention news.
All right. A couple things in convention news this week. The first thing is Han Cholo has revealed some items that they're going to be selling at C2E2 at the end of this month. What they have are some made-to-order Optimus Prime stud earrings. And then they have a hot rod enamel pin, which honestly it looks a little bit more like Ironhide to me, but their pins have been pretty nice that they've been doing lately. And then they have a Soundwave cassette player enamel pin, which will go nicely with the cassettes that they've been doing, like Ravage. Their stuff is always high quality. I'm going to be at C2E2 and we'll try to talk with them again like I have in the past couple of conventions. So be looking for some content from that. And if you're going to be there, check out their booth. The next thing we have here is a TFCon Orlando has revealed the shirt for this year's convention. It features a Jurassic Park themed design with Grimlock as the dinosaur. And it will cost $25. You can pre-order it. If you're already registered, you can go and add it to your existing order via their registration system. So check it out. It's a pretty nice looking design.
I think it might be their best shirt ever.
It's up there. Definitely. That is all for convention news this week.
All right, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Recording.
Don't want want you guys taking it the wrong way, but I'm happy your guys are involved with the their fan or their toy fair stuff. You guys are our comics guys. The toy guy doesn't get invited to this? How is this possible? Got ourselves a comedian, huh? Why don't you tell us a joke there, Mr. Joke Maker, Joke Man?